Hello and welcome everyone. We're just going to jump straight into this evaluation of a RIOT trade that happened this morning that I recorded. So excuse the fact that I don't have 24-hour market data. For some reason, my new account, it won't let me select that session. So please bear with me until I get that fixed. So we started the morning off with 2650 bids controlling. That was our first controlling prints of the morning. We're pulling up now. The trade that I'm going to be looking for is a short back under 2650. I'm going to be looking for off level selling under 27 here. That'll show us that we have the ability to, and the timing is coming soon. We did get the 50-cent pull up, which was nice, which is exactly what we would expect in terms of our game plan. Some 0.67 bids here. That's a good sign for our ability to come break under 2650. I would need more off-level selling like that above 0.50 to really show that this thing is going to break under in a quick time frame. Which we're not really getting at the current moment. And mind you guys, this is a trade that I already took, so I already do know the outcome of it. So it's going to be a little more difficult for me to break down my thought process during the trade properly, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm still looking for that triggered short under 2650. I know we had the bids, we got the 50-cent pull up. I'm just not seeing the riders on the filtered time and sales that tell me that we're going to go under. It's going to break under. So I think we're just setting up here. It can really go either way here. I'm definitely 60% leaning towards the downside just because those are the bids that we got. But there's no off-level selling that really shows us that the time is now. So, I mean, it's just really in a consolidation right now. Now we got those 27 ask. So it looks like we're going to get an extended pull up here from the 2650 bids. And the 27 ask is just an extension of that. Perfect case scenario is... One second. Perfect case scenario is we could ask at 2750. And then we get a flag or some sort of consolidation. Then we trigger back under. But at this situation point in time, who's there to say that this can just extend to 30? Obviously, we need the off-level buying for that. And in this case, I really don't see that breakout buying potential. Right now, I personally would not take a long. My whole trade in that consolidation, I was looking for the short. And I was looking for the supporting prints for that, and we ended up getting the opposite, which was ask, show that our pull up was going to be extended. So now in this moment, I'm looking for any information to show me that are we going to continue on this extended pull up, just like that 2750 ask. I know it came in as above the ask, but the order was there on the matrix. So now I'm looking at what's our reaction to that, and it's very minimal. A couple ask prints, yeah, but that's not showing me that we're going to bust through 28. So again, we know our psychological level, 2750. We see a majority of our pullbacks come from psychological levels. And this trade started off with bids. So we had 2650 bids, and then the ask came in after that gave us our extended pull up. Overall, the 2750 level makes for a great potential pullback. I think if we can set up here, get a flag in this consolidation, I think we can have a nice trigger under that print line there. And back to 2650 at least. 27 would be a bit conservative. I know when I was trading this, I was tempted on that trigger on this bar right here, but I didn't see any selling within that bar, anything significant to show that they were going to ride it below 2650. And even here, I was looking for the short. We were under the print line. I was looking for that short-term ceiling to come in on the filter time cells to show that we can get back down there. Not really seeing that. My whole goal here was to use that print line and take a short under, have that ceiling above us. But again, I think we're just setting up here. I think this is this flag kind of formation, consolidation, volume pattern, volume's dipping a bit. Not seeing any clear buying either. I think we're kind of in middle grounds right now. I'm not seeing the clear buying stepping in to show that we're going to break and we're going to have a breakout to 28.50. I'm not really seeing that right now. I know we have the selling under. We have 27 that didn't pull back, 27.50 that didn't pull back. Two levels that have not pulled back, and we started with bids. Some more ask at 27.50, a lot less relative to the first time. We're reaching a volume pattern here, so expect a volume breakout soon. Again, guys, this is my first time like doing live voiceovers, and I'm only going to be improving, so please bear with me through the process. It's definitely not an easy process to effectively put your thoughts out there, and I think it's only going to help me improve as a trader as well. Okay. So didn't get that trigger under that print line that we're looking for out of that pattern. Again, I'm not in the position to chase this long unless we get significant off-level prints that tell us the timing is now. We're not going to pull back from 27.50 right now. Someone steps in above that says, that's ballsy, that says I'm going to make money and I'm going to make money soon, quick. It's going to be quick. It's going to be that now. So the 0.8, I like those prints right there. That shows us that we can get to 28. Those are above print personality. Boom, 28 ask. What's our reaction? Not seeing more on the regular time it sells as sell. Didn't really see that huge significant buying coming in. Okay, we're already pulling back from 28. We have three levels now that didn't pull back from significantly, and then we have the selling that started off our morning, the 26.50. So this is an extended pull up at the moment. Right now, I'd be looking for that short-term buying right now to show that we can go past 28 out of this pattern right here above this print line. And if we don't get that short-term buying, then my thesis of coming back to 26 still stands. It's just all timing. They fit together in the puzzle completely. And as you see, we didn't get any reaction above 28 that stood out significantly to show the timing, and we really didn't get much under 28 that said that it was going to blow past 28. And we're still back in this volume pattern and then this chart pattern here. I mean, essentially, we're just looking for a volume breakout. We're looking for that price action and volume. Again, guys, three levels that it has not pulled back from, starting with, and then we started with the 26.50 bids. So this is the current extended pull up. So see how we have our overall game plan of where the stock needs to go. It needs to eventually satisfy that 26.50 selling that we started off this morning. But it has to fit into the puzzle in terms of timing. Because there's no use in knowing the overall game plan if you can't identify the time frame and the timing prints. Those are what give you your entries. at least to the high percentage. And again, guys, I'm not seeing anything above this print line, above 2750. That's showing me that we're going to break out above 28 at any time. The short-term buying is not there. Relatively any buying isn't there. It looks like we're in a volume dip here. And we know the 2750 psychological level we get larger pullbacks from. I'm looking for at least 50-cent trade back at 27. That's, I mean, pretty conservative, I would say. Really should get to 2650. But we need that price action, though. So a bar similar to one of the first three that we saw this morning. And it's definitely a slower trade that's developing. But again, guys, I can't stress enough how much we're not getting that off-level buying above 2750 to show that's going to be able to hold. That's so significant. No one has stood out on the tape above 2750 to show that they're going to make money. Not a single person. We know where the controlling market maker is, right? Just going back to the ask at 28, which were significant. 3 levels that'll pull back. We're just waiting. It's the waiting game now. It's just setting your order up. Preferably, it triggers right through that print line. We use 2750 as a level to be able to stop us out if it decides to come back and test. I need a proper trigger right here, though. Again, and I want to stress that also it was on our scanners this morning, right? And typically RIOT is not one to jump on our scanners every single morning. So, and then we got the gap up on the chart, the daily. So new buying here in this situation would hold a lot more weight, and we need that continuous new buying for this to continue to make a push, which we didn't see above 2750 or 28 or anything ballsy. So we got some price action here. The volume's not necessarily where I want to see it, but I would take a shot here personally under that 2750 just because of the lack of buying above. Overall game plan. I think 50 cents, 27 is going to be our conservative. So 27 bids here. Let's look for a reaction. So we'd be in under 27.50 on this trigger. Maybe take a little bit off here since we could get a bounce here off this 27. Still looking for like a reaction under or above to show that we're going to break this. A little bit there, 0.90, 0.84. Just looking for that continuation in selling here. Okay, boom. At this point, 26.50 is going to be our price target. Double bottom area. That's where we know that initial market maker was sitting. And then we do pick our spots on this on the stock on the way down, so we're not giving up profit. That still looking for some more reaction prints here, some more selling to show that we can break 26.50 and continue to a possible gap fill of anything of that nature. Haven't seen any real covering or buying step in yet. Still just waiting. And there was no real pull up from that 27 bid, so just be mindful of that. Boom. 26.50. believe those were bids. I think the order was on the bid side of the matrix. But that's our trade right there. That was our price target. That's who initially came in, and we followed from the get-go. The rest is just bonus money at this point. Leave your runner, pick your spots. So essentially my thought process with this is that open, we got those 2650 bids. I knew it needed at least a 50-cent pull-up, and we got that. The reaction of the 50-cent pull-up was 27 ask. So what that told me is we're going to get a continuation of pull-up. So, and that's exactly what happened. We ended up going to 2750 and then consolidated there a bit. We were looking for the short back down to 2650. And then we got the breakout to 28. We got the 28 ask there. So 3 levels, 27, 27.50, 28 with ask that did not pull back from, and we have the selling below. And we know that 27.50 is a psychological level, and we had our majority of our bigger pullbacks from psychological levels. And we waited for the pattern to form there above 27. We took the trigger under 27.50 on not the best volume. I understand that it's not clear, concise breakout volume, but it was definitely, in my opinion, a 75% trade, at least. What would have made this a higher percent trade would be clear breakout volume with consistent speed and more off-level selling to show that someone was going to make more money to the downside. And just note, like, I talked a lot about off-level buying and off-level positions for timing-wise, because I knew the overall game plan from what the market maker was showing. We saw the extended pull-up. Eventually, we're going to come back below 26.50. That I know was going to be at 27.50. That's the level that makes the most sense in terms of psychological level. But if we got to push to 28, 28.50, 29, I would still look for that pullback, and I think we would have a larger pullback given that if it got overextended that much. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the trade I took this morning. I took it under 27.50. We have a nice print line there. And overall, that's my thought process when it comes to breaking down trades. My whole goal with this series is to improve and to be able to provide clear and concise information that you guys can see live, or at least recorded live. And it's going to be a lot of class information, a lot of information that I was taught from Rich and the vets, a lot of class leaked information. Like, a lot of this stuff is going to be class stuff. It really is. It's what I've applied to my trading, and you guys are going to be able to see that moving forward. And like I said, I'm only going to get better at doing voiceovers and recordings. Audio is only going to improve. I'm really committed to being able to do a series like this to really show you guys that trading can be easy. Once you set up a game plan, you have exactly what you need to look for. You're outlining trades. You're focused on the process. I think majority of my thought process with these videos is going to be focusing on the process. How does your mind need to work in order to outline a high percent trade? And moving forward, I'm just going to be drilling on the process. From creating the overall game plan to timing, to patterns, to triggers, to little subtle pieces of the puzzle. But yeah, guys, I think one last note I kind of wanted to make was how I talked about that buying above 27.50. Like, we know we had the buying at the levels 27, 27.50, 28. Like, those are easy to identify. But to be able to be a great trader, you need to identify off-level prints that are not at a level, that tell you information, that give you insight into what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. Like, above 27.50, I did not see anyone above print personality that showed me that they were going to make money now. They were going to continue to keep pushing it. And those are key indication and variables that people step in at off-level. The market makers that we're following step in at off-level bigger than print personality and show you timing. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much the trade right there. We ended up getting a bounce off the lows of 26. You'd be out the rest of your trade. You'd be maybe in a little runner, but at that point, you're out of the rest of the trade. And we know we still have buying above, so set up for a possible long again if the right off-level buying continues. All right, everyone. Thank you, and I'm gonna looking forward to doing these series, and I'm going to work really hard to improve quality and production. Thank you.